roles China has played and is going to play in the near future on solving some of these issues.
Alec, you want to?
I always have an opinion that it's not necessarily.
If there's an inflation, China's going to feel it pretty.
They are saving much more than anybody else, and of course they have been carrying the surpluses and buying your debt. But they came at a point last year. They said we may not want more U.S. denominated dollar bonds. Why did you start issuing treasuries denominated in yen or much less renminbi, whatever? Imagine that. What are the political consequences of that? I don't have an answer.
Yeah, that would have been my reaction too. As the buyer of dollars, when do they want to stop, and does this ramp up further talk about an alternative reserve currency? Just the sheer amount of our treasuries that they're buying just truly scares me.
It's mind-boggling.
Let's take one more question and then we'll break. And I'm sure that we can get these guys to stay with us for a little bit longer if we can. Yeah.
Bob Jacobson, does the U.S. have the ability to fight another crisis if we had another Lehman Brothers collapse next month, or are we bankrupt?
Can we fight if the commercial bank loans on Citi's balance sheet go bad and we have a run of sorts on Citi?
You stop the run the way runs are stopped. By not doing that in '29, you had to close hundreds of banks and make the crisis much worse. The only way, this is all about trust, okay? So when trust on banks fail or people start taking their money away, the only response is to pay back those deposits as fast as you possibly can by flooding the market and letting everybody know that you are not going to allow banks to fail. It's the only, that's where, I don't know what Dick Bauer will think or many other economists here. Really, nobody knows any other better way to stop a bank run, because the world is not prepared to understand, the common citizen is not prepared to understand that his money is not waiting at the cashier every day to be returned, that the bank has lent the money for 5 years and that maybe only 5% of the deposits can be returned overnight. All the rest may have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So what? Central bank pumps the liquidity. That's great. Now, once the crisis is over, I had that problem in 1980. Okay, I was chairman of the Central Bank of Argentina, and we had to print the hell out of money, and we had to close 60 banks, and the way it ended up, the government was overthrown. Okay, 5 years later, because inflation was rampant, because the country could not pay for the consequences of having solved the financial crisis. So it's in every book. It's just that the American people don't like to read other countries' books,